We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. We knew that eventually Fani Willis was going to get called on the table about the amount of effort that she's putting into other cases here in Georgia that are not high profile, that are not big fish, that are not name aware, whatever. Check this out. Shout out to the Black Star, Atlanta Black Star. Same energy like you did when you went after Young Thug. Atlanta father blasts Fani Willis for refusing to appeal dismissal of cop who killed black man, saying if his son was a celebrity, it would be different. Despite the Fulton County Attorney's Office compiling a 65-page investigation report outlining the reasons why an Atlanta police officer should be charged in the shooting death of an unarmed black man, the same district attorney's office is now refusing to appeal a decision by a Trump appointed federal judge who last month dismissed the case. And the victim's father, Johnny Hill, believes it's because his son was not a celebrity. After all, he said Fulton County DA Fani Willis does not hesitate to aggressively pursue charges against President Donald Trump and Atlanta rapper Young Thug in recent years. I knew it. I told y'all it was coming. And now this is going to be the story. Let's keep it going. But Hills says she refused to do the same for Johnny Atkins' son, the 21-year-old unarmed black man who was killed by Atlanta police officer Song Kim in 2019 while hiding in the closet and who was complying rather with the cops' orders when he was killed, according to other cops on the scene. All right, so remember they compiled a 65-page report on this dude, but then they decided, it's okay, we're not going to appeal, even though the judge saw something differently. It's unacceptable, Hill said in his exclusive interview with Atlanta Black Star. How can you not appeal this case knowing there was an injustice that was done to my son? Why can't you spend some of the same energy like you do when you went after Donald Trump and Young Thug? Why can't you spend some of that same energy on my son? The Fulton County District Attorney's Office indicted Kim in December 2022 after the agency's public integrity unit published a 65-page report accusing the cop of violating several laws, policies, and procedures, charging him with a felony, murder, involuntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, and violation of oath of office. But last month, the U.S. State's District Judge Michael L. Brown, appointed by Trump in 2018, dismissed the case, which has been taken from the state by the Federal Department of Justice, claiming that Kim was immune from criminal prosecution because he reasonably believed that Atkins had a gun and was acting in self defense. The district attorney's office had the option of filing an appeal before the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, but last week, Hill was informed that he was not going to file an appeal. I told y'all she's lost a lot of goodwill. She's lost a lot of goodwill, and just the energy to continue to go after this stuff is just not there. It's just not there. It's not saying that he didn't even do wrong. They just don't have it because they keep appealing. They keep losing and appealing. So now they don't have the energy to appeal when they probably should have. You're supposed to stand for truth and justice, he said in regards to the district attorney's office. You continue to rave about integrity, but why don't you have the courage to show some integrity and appeal this unjust ruling? Hill, 63, who has been fighting for justice of his son since the shooting death, said that he learned about the district attorney's decision not to file the appeal last week through a phone call to his attorney. Atlanta Black Star reached out to the district attorney's media division to comment or documents pertaining to the decision, but has not heard back yet. Atlanta police began investigating Atkinson in January 2019 after a woman named Kelly Brogan accused the black man of stealing her phone and purse at gunpoint, which Hill claims is false. Okay. Instead, Atkinson asked to use her phone, then walked away with it without using force or weapons, Hill asserted. Hmm. Nevertheless, the case was handed over to the handed handed as a handed should be say handled handed as a armed robbery in the Atlanta Metropolitan Major Offenders Victim Crimes Task Force, known as AMO, which overseen by the FBI but made up of federal and local officers. On January 22nd, 2019, Kim was leading the task force, lied to the 12 officers about claiming that Atkinson was violent history and was fighting with police and would be armed and dangerous, which was not the case. Okay, so he had shared some information that wasn't true. Okay, got you. Later that day, the task force, which consists of 11 APS or APD officers and two federal agents, donned military gear and broke into a home where Atkins was staying with the mother of his children. Atkinson hopped out a window, prompted a foot pursuit that lasted an hour, where at no point did police see him holding a gun. He eventually ran into a building and into the apartment of a woman where he hid in the closet. The woman gave the police consent to enter the apartment, but never mentioned anything about him being armed. Kim was the first cop to enter the unit and said he spotted somebody hiding in a closet covered in clothes where only his eyes were visible. So he walked back outside and beckoned four other officers and walked in with him, including two local cops and two federal agents. Kim then claimed that rather ordered Atkins to show us your hands and don't move. But the district attorney's office determined the cop told him to show his hands. Okay. So he said, show your hands, but he didn't say don't move. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. But when Atkins' son did show his hands, Kim fired his weapon a single time, striking the man in the head, deleting him. Kim claimed Atkinson was holding both his hands together as if he had a weapon, making him fear for his life, but none of the other cops fired their weapons. Kim, who worked in the APD for 26 years, retired on November 2019. The Fulton County DA's office indicted him on December 2022. So 3 years later. Okay. The investigation by PIU discovered that in execution of the arrest warrant, the AMO task force violated the law, FBI policies, and several APD policies and procedures, stating the investigative report by the district attorney's public integrity unit. The report listed multiple examples of why Kim needed to be indicted, including the fact that he lied about Atkinson's past, accusing him of having a history of violence against cops when there was not a single instance to support this claim. The handling of the case has been a miscarriage of justice, said Hill. It's been an example of a supreme failure of the criminal justice system. Like, who do you really trust? Who is liberty and justice really for? Hill, who vows to continue to fight for the justice of his son, is asking citizens to sign a petition to encourage the district attorney's office to file an appeal. We will rather update the story on the Fulton County DA's office response to the request for comment or documentation regarding this decision not to file an appeal. All right, so I'm just going to leave this right here. We knew this was going to happen. We knew that Fani Willis was not going to have the steam to push for some certain cases, but would have all the steam and energy for particular ones that were high profile, that had a lot of attention, nationwide coverage, so on and so forth. This brother right here, whether it was right or wrong, not so much. And this is sad to see. But I think we're going to probably see more of it. So let's see let me know what you think. Down in the comments below, give me a 2 cent. I definitely appreciate it. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you stayed all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.